We are getting dangerously close to bodywork on this thing. I say dangerously because we all know how much I love bodywork. I quit. Today, we're gonna get it just a little bit closer. I think I wanna finish this header panel, core support, cover panel, that thing. I wanna figure out something nicer to do over here and also this front edge. Those guys are jamming out today. Nope. I think somebody just lost a finger. Okay, so here's my thought with this panel here. Right here, that's where that coolant overflow lives. So what I was thinking was, instead of having this panel here, butt right up to it, maybe we can curve into it. Something like that. And what's an easy way to accomplish that? Leftover exhaust pipe. Its original intention was to be exhaust pipe, but it has never been exhaust pipe. What this is 18 gauge steel that's already got the curve I want. They're being awfully annoying over there. Nobody around here wants another house in the neighborhood anyway. Go on, get out of here. All right, where did I put Old Yeller? Huh, put him away. Imagine that. Not too often that happens. So if we cut this straight down there, and then 90 degrees from there, we should have exactly what we want. Should. All right, I'm gonna be smart here because I know what's gonna happen if I hold this with my hands. Might end up not being able to count to 10. Yeah, something like that will be so much better. It'll kind of just flow into that overflow. This will look much more on purpose. Guys, cutoff wheel is not a grinding disc. Gosh, which one do I choose? I chose the little throw metal strands at you disc. So I use these magnets all the time for this stuff. But recently it's brought to my attention by a commenter. He asked if it affected my welding at all. And you know what? I started thinking about it and I'm like, that's entirely possible. I haven't noticed, but I'm gonna tack this into place and I'm gonna get rid of the magnet right away. Just in case, you know? A nearby magnet can significantly affect welding by causing arc blow, which happens when the magnetic field disrupts the welding arc, leading to poor weld quality, inconsistent heat distribution, and potential damage to the welding equipment. Therefore, it's important to keep strong magnets away from the welding area. Well, there you go. It can significantly affect welding. I'm still going to use them to set things up and then tack it and then take them off. I mean, they make these things. So yeah, thanks for pointing that out. I will no longer leave a magnet on longer than just tacking the piece together. All right, so here's where we're at. We welded in that curve and we cut off the old end here. and then welded in a new piece of round rod, because that'll give it a nice end to this little panel. Just like with my pinstriping, I don't leave a line just end. It's got to go somewhere. At least round it off, and that's what we did here. So we'll trim that right about there, maybe even do a little round over. Yup, just like that. That's exactly what I had in mind. Just a little contour on the end there. Overflow will be here. Maybe we should test fit it. Yes, definitely happier with that. I don't remember exactly who it was, but that idea came from a commenter on the video when we made this thing. Probably not exactly what he meant, but whatever, it gave me the idea. So thank you, sir. So now for this front edge. Dollar store poster board. So we're gonna take this strip of this poster board I taped together. We're gonna put it on the edge of our piece here. We want it to angle out a little bit. So what we're gonna do is just set it on here like so. And we're just gonna press down on it. We got it sitting at about the angle I want. And we're just gonna press down on it along the whole edge here, trying to indent it and give us a mark where we wanna cut it. So with the combination of my dirty fingers and putting pressure on this poster board, we got a good line here. We'll just cut it along that line here and we should have a good start of a template. That's looking like it'll work. We're gonna want this at an angle and drop down at about an inch. But I think what we're gonna do is just cut this out of metal, way too big, just like this. Tack it on there and then we'll cut it to the length that we need it. My brain is not quite working correctly today. Oh, my brushes aren't working today either. All right, it's me. Whatever. Oh, by the way, pre-orders for these zip-up hoodies are live on the website, ltscustomgarage.com. Same different day. Yesterday we left off after we started this template. Actually, I'm not gonna say we started it. We finished it, because this edge here is right what we want. This bottom edge here, we're gonna end up cutting that down to about an inch or so. For now, we're just gonna cut it out. I didn't like that thing. It wasn't marking all that good. So we're gonna use this fatty Sharpie, king size. So what I want to keep is the inside of this line. I can't cut it any further in than that, at least on this edge. Working on getting this cut out. Opted for the electric shears this time. Along this edge, I want to keep it a little cleaner. Not that that's not clean. I want to have a little more control over it. So I'm going to use cutoff wheel, an old Yeller. I believe it's pronounced zip cut in Canada. That will work. It fits on there good. It's got a nice little angle on it, so we can just tack that and then trim that to, I don't know, inch or whatever we need. Seriously, guys. So this is tacked on there and got it all prepped to fully weld. We marked down an inch, then laid some tape on the line. We're gonna have to cut that out. That'll give us a nice little header front bevel thing. Suppose we better test fit this before we weld that up, huh? That is just what that needed. I'm liking that. I think we can go ahead and weld that up. Got a gap right there to fill. It's all right, I'm not afraid of that. We can do that. Yes, I was MIG welding, and yes, I was using a filler. I told you there were some gaps we had to fill, and that's a great way to do it. No, I do not use a coat hanger like Bad Chad, even though somebody like me who doesn't really know a whole lot about metallurgy, science of metal. I don't know why that would be a bad idea, but it sounds like it probably is. I don't know. What I use is extra MIG wire, because every time you switch out that roller, every time you have a problem, you end up with a huge length of wire. So instead of throwing it away, I loop it back and forth like 4 times, put one end in the vise, one end in my drill, and I use it to help me fill gaps. Is it a bad idea to do that for some reason? I don't know. Is it better than a metal coat hanger? I don't know that either. But it works, so until I find out that that's a bad idea, I'm gonna keep doing it. So this looks horrible. But like I always say, it's gotta look ugly before it looks good. It just really looks like we don't know what we're doing. I mean, I don't necessarily know we do know what we're doing most of the time, but hey, we're gonna make it look good. Take our die grinder here. We'll start out with a 36 grit roll lock disc on it. Compliments of our friend Troy. Yeah, thank you for that, sir. So what I'm gonna do here is concentrate on one plane at a time. Meaning, like this front edge would be a plane, and the top would be another plane. Keeping our disc as flat as possible on the panel. Gonna grind it up to that edge along the whole way, and then we'll come back on the top and sneak up to it, again keeping it flat, and we'll end up with a nice joint here. And then we'll do it all again with maybe 80 grit, and then we'll just kind of give that corner just give it a tickle to round it over a little bit. We're gonna put this 80 grit on this dual action sander and take it for a ride on this panel. See what we got. Put it in there for another test fit before we go filling in these little holes. Again, keeping it flat to the panel that we're on. We got some holes to come back and fill. We got a lot of work to do on the underside yet anyway. Let's give this a test fit. Yeah, that looks good. I like how it just kind of bevels out in the front and matches the fenders. Standing back here, it just looks much more finished. And that looks so much better going to that overflow. What do you guys think? Not every day could be your best one. Yeah. Well, I gotta call it a day, guys. Thanks for hanging out. ltscustomgarage.com for pinstripe art, t-shirts, and some other stuff. I'll see you in this one.